not so friendly friends, tell them to join us, right? The Maiyegun today. Also, you have the studio number live, and you can join. See, that's the number on the screen as well. If you're calling from outside the UK, just put the prefix. I don't know. Anyway, +44777069222321. I can't repeat that. So thank you so much if you have done that already. Now, I am going to call this a follow-up, an update of what transpired in Oyo State from the 2nd of June and then to the time they announced the rescue of the school children from the Orire local government area of Oyo State. A lot of speculations, conspiracy theories, and also the factual evidence that are staring all of us in the face that, quite to be honest, rather than just celebrate the release of these children, people are questioning, right, the entire process, including the announced rescue. Now, more details are already coming out, right, that the report given to us by the Nigerian army, the guy that met with Makinde, who told the story of how the rescue was carried out, including how they challenged the terrorists, lost their own men. A soldier was lost, a policeman died, as well as a couple of the vigilante groups, were also killed in the course of rescuing these 44 school children and their teachers. However, people were asking questions like, oh, that's wonderful, right? That we would like to know what happened to the terrorists who had the audacity to take these children in the first place, and also to behead a whole school teacher, right? Beheaded him in front of the camera and share that on social media. Where are the culprits, those behind it? Then we track back to when the special advisor to Tifnumbu, Onofunuga, came out. Bayo Onofunuga said that the Nigerian army, right, rescued. Meanwhile, it's actually kind of like a conflict too, by the way, like contradictory statement. The first one said, the children have been freed. That was the original news, which ordinarily would have been, how did you come by that? And why did it take you that long? 57 days. So they changed that to, no, they were rescued. Now, rescue as a word simply means you manage to safely recover something from those who are illegally keeping them, so to say, which means you'd have to, like, to retrieve in that sense means you have a gun battle, so to say. Okay? So it is either you overpower them, they run away, you kill some, maybe some run away, or you actually overpower them enough that none of their victim is by any means hurt. So more questions. So when the soldiers was relaying the entire kind of like a process of how they rescued them, his speech or his report was like laced with junks, so to say, unprofessional to start with, for a military officer that just carried out a very successful rescue mission where children, toddlers, were safely recovered from the terrorists who have kept them for over 56 days. Yeah? Then that's what we're going to start from this evening. When the whole thing was kind of like braga, like shared, so to say, they expected all of us to clap and move on. But no, as God will have it, as luck will have it, so to say, right? One of the teachers, rescued teachers, has now come out to tell us exactly what happened. There was never any gun battle. There was nothing. The terrorists just came one morning and told them, you are free now, which means you can go now. And after that, they moved them far away from where they were keeping them until they themselves had to like a trek for more than 2 hours before they now met the DSS guys in the particular part of the forest. And that's what they called rescue. But that wasn't something that just happened, like they just made a phone call and they released them. No. We now have an evidence, alleged $9 million that exchanged hands among other things. Here is what that soldier told us. And I told you that time, I said they were lying, including all the stories that followed it. Lies, right? So we'll replay that. The soldier.
I want to just put on record that on 15th of May, 2026, it was indeed a sad day for us, and of course, the whole people of Oyo State. It was sometime around 10:00 hours. We were conducting an event in the barracks, and I was called that something like that had happened. So we had to move in from all the troops that are close by to that area, and I and my team, we had to move from the barracks, and we drive with all the speed we could to get to those locations, and unfortunately they have gone deep into the forest. But we had to organize a search team immediately. We went in with some of the hunters, local vigilantes, and Politico. But nothing positive happened that day. The following day we continued, and because of the nature of the forest, how thick it is, we had drone teams, we have Nigerian Air Force following up. But in some of those areas, you can't even, if you are under that place, you can't see the rays of sunlight from those places. And the Air Force flew, they couldn't see anything. The drone team also flew. We didn't get anything from those things, and that was how we insisted on ground operation. It has to be ground, how to go deep into the forest. And it's during one of these operations that we lost the officer and the soldier that particular day, and some other ones wounded. One of them is actually serious because he has a broken hand due to gunshot wound. The operation continued, and we had to involve a lot of agents. Had to take over the whole operation completely from the garrison commander, because we had to now bring in troops and forces from different places providing intelligence, and I had to coordinate all these teams together. Let me just mention that we have teams from the special unit of the Office of the National Security. We have this National Counter-Terrorism Unit, the tactical team were there with us. We have Defense Headquarters Special Forces team. That particular team comprises of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, DSS, Civil Defense, National Intelligence Agency, and some other security agencies. They made up that Special Forces team. They came in large number with their main equipment and everything. And we have the Nigerian police. Apart from those ones in those special forces, we have them. We came from Oyo State, DSS from Oyo. We have Nigerian Air Force in Oyo. And specifically from the Air Force, we had a special team from Kainji. That is where they have that tactical operations group with all their fighter aircraft. National intelligence agencies were part of it. We have troops from the Operation Savannah Shield in Kwara. We had to bring them in to do a kind of blocking force from that northern side of the state. And of course, other security agencies, we have the local vigilante, like His Excellency said, we lost a few of those hunters too, Amoteku, and the rest of the others. And by the grace of God, on the 10th of July, we successfully rescued the 44 of them. Like she has mentioned, we lost 2 of the teachers while in captivity. And of course, the reason for it, she mentioned, but I've always said that we will never yield to terrorist requests. We will not, and we will never do that. So the operation is a complex one. It lasted for more than a month, and it focused mainly the terrorist kingpins that masterminded the crime. We focused on also dismantling their network and cutting off their logistics, and informants within OD Park and the country. I tried to we had to go start looking for other members of the team and even members of their family outside of Oyo, Adamawa, Kano, different to get part of them. It was also what put further pressure on them, and we blocked. At the last phase of the operation that we had was blocking their major logistic hub, a town called Ashamu. We blocked the place, and it finally put pressure on.
All lies. And please don't get me wrong, okay? The Nigerian army, with what I think I know, I believe that they have the capacity to crush these terrorists. But majority of them can't publicly come out and tell you how much their hands have been held. And if any of them acts against directive they give to them, you will be court-martialed. You may even actually be set up. You'll be lucky if they court-martialed you and put you in guard room. That's pretty much like a good one. If they don't set you up to get killed by the same terrorist. The Nigerian army, Nigerian navy, all of them, the rest of them, they were very much aware where they were keeping the children and the teachers. The office of Rebadu conducted what they called the rescue. And that's not the first one. When they took those children from that Catholic school in Niger State, remember last year, it was the office of Rebadu that went on to pay 3 billion naira ransom. Yes, that's how much they paid. And then they put all of the same paparazzi that they've just put on the Oyo abduction, the same paparazzi. Let everybody be proud. Nigerian army this, Nigerian army that. You get that? But that's not what happened. They did not bring this Operation Savannah from Sahel. Be Operation something from Kwara. The Nigerian Navy. No. Even if they mobilized themselves with the Amotekwan, the places where they had contact with the terrorists, right? Not a single terrorist was shot or killed. No. The few times they had contact with them, they lost their own men in that 57 days. Do you get that now? The terrorist killed this police officer. Yes, one of those killed. They killed this soldier, including the teacher. You remember the math teacher. They also killed this 28-year-old soldier on the right on your screen by the terrorists. In the course of, they want to rescue them because they were not given the command to actually rescue them. Okay? For the optic, for the media, for whatever, everything, right? Just keep following them and monitoring them, sort of. Not to. And at a point, maybe they actually withdrew them, all of them, like they withdrawn all of them. Because the account of one of the survivors, a teacher, was also rescued, is far, far different from the story that the Nigerian government, Nigerian army, want Nigerians to believe. And see, you watching this may be like, about this thing, no need, they don't rescue them, that's okay. It's not. If those in your government are involved in this terrorism, using terrorism to actually deplete Nigeria resources, in the process, funding terrorism, that's not good. Because these ones, that's like a deal, went perfectly well, right? Cashed out millions of dollars. What do you think terrorists use money for? Do you think terrorists take the money, right? And they buy private jets or they buy cars? Do you think that's what terrorists use the money for? They get more weapons to advance whatever they cause. I mean, they call it their own cause. And the victims, more victims from those who could have been saved if such money never made it to the hand of a terrorist. That's what ransom is all about. You know that? Ransoms are not used to buy houses. Ransoms collected by terrorists are not used to buy lands, to invest. No. They buy more weapons. And that is why the entire thing is now an industry. The Office of National Security Advisor, NSA, Ribadu's office, which on the one hand had publicly come out to confess that yes, they gave thousands of AK-47 guns to Miyetiala. And in some places where some locals have, even the Nigerian army, engaged with some of these terrorists, not only that, they have seen that the weapons they are using to attack them or kill people are mostly federal government issued weapons. Do you understand that indictment? That is what Yoruba call the onshemi, ongbami. You are doing me, right? At the same time, you are offering me hand of help. How do you thank somebody who is behind your tragedy and at the same time offering you the shoulder to cry on, depleting the country's resources in a way that, according to them, they can make it look like they're actually on top of the insecurity situation in Nigeria? That's an indictment. Now, we're having an idea where Solomon Kende Ibadan got the idea of what happened in Oyo State must be investigated by external kind of investigators, not Nigeria, not this, not that. And that triggered the APC so bad that they are now calling Tifnubu to do something about the Seyi Makinde for politicizing the rescue of these Oyo kids. What are they hiding? Now listen to a teacher, okay, who I believe was also rescued. One of the rescued teachers, his own account, what really happened.
Captured in school, and as well, I was the last person that was released in that bush.
Okay.
Because the anchor that was on the both teachers, the teacher is not ordinary teacher; it's even my VP. It's my VP, so I'm the school counselor. So when the anchor there was particularly they wanted to lose the anchor when we want to hit. So the anchor, the key now break. So when the key break, that man's hand was loose, so the handcuff was with me till the day they released us. So there was no key to lose the handcuff from my hand. That was the way I was carrying the handcuff. So when they released us, everybody had gone.
Okay.
So they now said, I cannot carry this handcuff home. That they will look for a way to lose the handcuff. So one of them said, maybe they should cut off my hand. So the other said, no, they should not cut off my hand, though. That they should not worry, that they will look for a way to handcuff me. So he now went to look for just small tiny rope. It was a tiny rope he used to lose the handcuff. Okay. So that was how I was also released. Okay. So my people had gone far. I don't know how the route they took. I was just hearing their sound. So I was just running towards a direction. Their commander called me again. He pointed gun at me. He said, "Come." When he pointed gun at me, he said, "Come." I was afraid that only me in this bush. Is this how I'm going to die?
That's
so he told me to come back.
The ISWAP commander, the terrorist commander.
The one inside the bush, their commander inside the bush. Yeah, I can say maybe their chief commander. Let me put it that way. Their chief commander. He called me because I should come. That where am I going? I said, I don't know where I thought this is the route my people passed. Now told me to come. So when I got to him, he told me that I should take this route. That this is the route he took. So I now run to the direction he told me they took, so he followed me. So as I was running, I was looking at the back so that he won't shoot me. So we trekked from that place, like let me say, like 40 to 1 hour to where they provided motorcycle, bike Okada that took us from that bush near to the nearest village.
Okay, so when
it was for like let me say 1 hour 30 minutes to that village, they now stopped. They said they can't go further again. So that was where they stopped and they told us to move with our leg. Okay. So we moved for 1 hour 30 minutes with our leg, both the principal, the VP, the staff, the student, and the purpose. So we trekked for 1 hour 30 minutes before we get to where those teams are to rescue. Government sent to come and rescue us with. So
that's a teacher. Can you now compare that to the account given by the leader of the rescue team that was speaking at their meeting with Makinde? Can you compare? So what happened? That means these guys, after the deal was done, everything settled. So it was time to release them. And basically, after ransom was paid and whatever demand they made were met. This is why I don't like some of these politicians. Of course, some will probably want to take advantage of this whole thing, right? For their own political kind of like benefits. But it's crazy. If Makinde as a state governor is privy to some information that ordinarily could tell our people what really transpired. You know what I mean? Like, is he going to die? When you have an evidence that this whole thing was almost like coordinated from Abuja. And that is a dangerous one. If those who are supposed to protect us, fighting every day, where some people are saying, Tinubu is trying, he's doing his best. What do you want him to do? Do you want him to go and carry gun himself and the rest of that? Even if Tinubu himself has a very good art of saying he really, really wants to get rid of this terrorist. What is going on in the office of Referendum when it comes to how these security arrangements are being coordinated and how much of them have become special op that is being coordinated from his own office? Who would investigate Referendum's office? For every rescue they've carried out and money exchange hands, right? 90% of them have happened from the office of Referendum. Not without his instance, not without him knowing. Talking about this in Nigeria would actually earn me a jail term. Do you understand? Do you understand that? Yeah, that's going to earn me that, because to them, why are you trying to poison the mind of the people to make them believe that something is shady in all, with what you have actually heard so far or seen so far? Can you confidently say there is no reason for a special investigation to the insecurity in Nigeria, including those who are coordinating it? Can you honestly say that? Or maybe because you haven't become a victim, yeah? Now hear the rest of the true account of what really happened. Because it was after they trekked. Remember the account he gave, the teacher, the last person they released, all right? He said, first, he had to trek for about 40 minutes or an hour before they got to a place where they now provided bikes to take all of them. And that bikes traveled for an hour, 30 minutes. That's 2.5 hours. So, right? Then before they dropped them and said they couldn't go any further. Then they started trekking again, which according to him took them like also an hour, 30 minutes before they, stumbled on the DSS. Guys, who are those ones who made the video? You see all those soldiers, all those videos we shared a few days ago about the rescue, how they are all moving, traveling through the forest, passing through waters and the rest of that. Those who are just like them going to collection points, so to say. Here.
And how did you guys make it to the village where you now met up with the, how did you, were you on a motorcycle? Because it must have been, a long distance.
Yes. So when I said when he showed me the way when I was running to meet my people, so we trekked like, let me say, 40 to 1 hour before we got to where they provided a motorcycle Okada for us. 1 hour? So it was hello?
Yeah, you trekked for 1 hour.
40 to 1 hour. I can't say precisely, but no, it's no more than 1 hour. Yeah, they provided those motorcycle that will carry us. It was that place that they now took us with the motorcycle. Then they brought us to the nearest village. So they dropped us there that they said they can't go again. That we should use our leg to trek. So we now trek for like 1 hour plus again before we get to that nearest city called village called Alausa.
Alarusa. Is it Alarusa or Alausa?
Alausa. Okay. The local government. Alausa.
Okay.
So that was how before we got there, so they told us we are going to meet 2 rivers. We met the 2 rivers. So when we got to the other second river, the river was into the bank. So because our principal was the one that led, so I was at the back. I was at the back, so there were like maybe 2 or 3 children that can't walk. So despite all what we went through, I carried the little one. It was a particular one called testimony. I was the one that took that one. I carried that on my neck. So I was just going. So when we got to that river, nobody was able to cross. They were crying. Is this the way they would die? So I am brought up from Mundo, so I went inside the river directly. Before I got inside the river, I took one stick, so I was checking the depth, how deep the river was. Hello?
I'm with you.
So when I got how deep the river was, I went the first time to check how deep it was so that I will know the route to follow. So I came back through another route. So when I saw the one that was no more that deep, so I tried the best I can. So I was the one that carried most of those little keys throughout the river to the other bank.
And how did you guys make it to the village?
So do you get that story now? If you have to put them side by side, right? Is it not enough for you to probably believe that for them not telling us the whole story, hiding the entire story from us, is even a treason? Do you know that? The fact that your government will lie to you, cover up for terrorists in a way, that in itself is a treason. It's a treasonable offense. Because that simply means that somehow there is a collusion within government. A very, very strong allegation. Not me. Come on. The governor of the state is in the dark of the whole thing. That he had to actually make a press statement asking for United Nations on human rights to please investigate what happened in your state.
The circumstances surrounding this incident are sufficiently grave and unusual to warrant independent scrutiny beyond our domestic institutions. I therefore, with a full sense of responsibility as the Executive Governor of Oyo State, call on the appropriate international human rights and accountability mechanisms, including those within the United Nations system, to closely examine the facts surrounding this abduction and the circumstances of its resolution. Such scrutiny is not intended to undermine our institutions. Rather, it is intended to reinforce public confidence that the truth will be established and that every person found to bear responsibility, regardless of office, influence, or affiliation, will be held accountable. Under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the primary responsibility for national security rests with the federal government and the security agencies under its command. The Nigerian people, therefore, deserve a full and transparent account of what happened, who was responsible, whether there were institutional failures, negligence, or collusion at any level, and what measures must now be taken to ensure that no community is ever subjected to such an ordeal again. This is not about politics. It is about justice for the victims, reassurance for our people, and restoring public confidence that every Nigerian child can go to school without fear.
So what made Seyi Makinde to release that statement? If there is collusion, that means if there is an internal collaboration that coordinated the abduction of school children in Oyo State, and the terrorists, they walked away, allegedly with $9 million, weapons, and some other things that they actually really got from that deal. And when they get everything, they are not different from the same terrorists that will kidnap you and ask your family members to go and pay 50 million, go and pay 100 million. Yeah? Because this time, these guys collected the money and they walked away. To go on and plan for another attack, only for these guys to put together a cock and bull case. And they told us that these are the guys that coordinated the abduction. They were from Suleja in Niger State. Because they formed a WhatsApp group. And on that WhatsApp group, they recruited the people that went to Oyo State to go and kidnap school children. So with this, the case is closed. Let's move on. Until it happened again. Happens again and again. just the same way they have managed to sustain the terrorism up north and a part of the middle belt of Nigeria. So if your government is lying to you, do you not understand what that means? I would expect you to understand what it means. Like, it simply means that they are playing with the lives of the same Nigerians that they have pledged to protect. And that is like taking their madness too far. And remember, it is generally believed that the only tool that has kept the APC, Egbekegbe, in power up to this moment was because of the insecurity in that country. Yeah, plus the poverty and the rest of those ones are like the creation of the insecurity as well. Do you understand? So many areas up north, so many communities, and I'm talking about thousands of communities have become ghost towns. But guess what? When they conduct their fake charade called elections, right? They will always declare results from all those ghost towns, villages, communities, even local government areas who have gone into the total control of the terrorists, right? You can go there and verify that. A lot of you have no idea that most of the places they are declaring their millions of votes from northern part of Nigeria, most of those places are ghost towns that you will never even see any electoral officers there. Borno State, for example, out of 27 local governments in Borno State, right, they only have just about 6 of them functional right now, like 6. Maiduguri is where most of the local government administrations across the state, that's where they domiciled. Whenever they are conducting elections in Nigeria, the entire result will be written in Maiduguri. Yes, result for other local government areas in the state will be written from Maiduguri, because majority of them are either in refugee camps or they have all found their ways to come and join the refugees in the state capital. Nigerian government and authority, they know about that. And that's how they are running Maiduguri inside Nigeria. There are so many other places where local governments are no longer functional. You can't see police posts, you can't see military posts, you can't see anything that actually represents Nigeria authority in the areas. But guess what? They continue to write election results from all those places. And the INEC of Nigeria continue to validate them. And they continue to produce your governors, your lawmakers, and the rest of them inside that same system in Nigeria. Since this APC, Egbekegbe came in. This is what their Senate actually gave to those who died. 5 people that died. The families of the 2 civilians, as well as the families of the 3 civilians, as well as the families of the 2 uniformed men, the policemen and the rest, they gave them 50 million naira. And that 50 million naira is just, according to Akpabiole, for for those who lost their lives in the whole scheme.
Deliberated, applauded, Mr. President and security agencies on the rescue of our children who were in captivity for about 56 days. So from the Chief of Army Staff to the Director General of SSS to the Inspector General of Police, of course to the Minister of Defense, and particularly the Commander-in-Chief that led the operation. We also noted the fact that 3 of the personnel who went for the rescue operations lost their lives in the course of trying to rescue those children. An army lieutenant from Adama was killed, a police sergeant was killed, another private soldier was killed, and many were wounded. So on behalf of the Senate, we decided that also the teachers, 2 teachers that were in captivity with the children were also murdered. So we've taken the motion, we've applauded government, we've applauded the security agencies, and we are pleading that the same be extended to any other part of the country where the majority are in captivity. And so today we just felt, after discussion with the leadership, that we want to also support the victims' families. Like the young lieutenant was just 28 years old when he died in that operation. So we are sending a token of 50 million to them to be divided into the 5 deceased families. The family of the 2 teachers, the family of the 3 operatives who lost their lives, 10 million each on behalf of the Senate. So is this the view of the Senate? Those in support say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Look at the Senate. Deliberated.
You get that? We're going to give them 50 million naira. Those in support say aye, and those against say nay. To them, they have done what they have to do. They've been rescued. They have presented some 3 strange guys as the mastermind behind it. Everything else you are asking, right? You are just a troublemaker. Instead of you to be happy that this is done. Or how do you then prevent the next one when you have already harmed them for the next big move? And there is a lawmaker in America moving a motion that the US should stop every aid being given to Nigeria in totality as a bit of a punishment, punitive measure against the government of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria for the terrorists who are killing Christians, the Christian genocide in Nigeria. His own move a few days ago.
Speaker, I rise in strong support for my amendment to increase the withholding threshold for assistance to Nigeria from 50% to 100%, while keeping in place benchmarks that demand Nigeria take effective steps to address the violence and persecution that continue to devastate the country. Nigeria has faced a horrific wave of violence that its corrupt government has failed to address. For years, and especially in recent months, Christians and other religious minorities in Nigeria have been subjected to violence and terrorism at the hands of extremists operating with impunity. Christian women and girls continue to be abducted, assaulted, tortured, and killed. Their churches are burned, and entire communities are erased. If the aid conditions included in the bill are important enough to withhold half of all the funding to the Nigerian government, then they are important enough to withhold all of the funding. The generosity of our taxpayers is a reflection of the American values we hold so firmly. Never should we allow their hard-earned tax dollars to be funneled to corrupt regimes that fail to uphold religious freedom, fail to adequately confront terrorism, and fail to protect the innocent from persecution. So why are we rewarding a government that fails to meet such a basic obligation? This amendment is simple. It does not remove the aid conditions in the bill, but only strengthens such conditions. But most importantly, it upholds a principle that all recipients of American taxpayer assistance should follow, that they must prove they are willing and able to respond to violence before receiving any funding. Simply put, meet the standard before receiving support. That is the accountability the American taxpayer deserves. Foreign aid should never be a reward for failure. So as our national debt is fast approaching 40 trillion, why on earth are we still allowing ourselves to go further into debt by rewarding corrupt foreign governments that tolerate terrorism within their borders? When churches are burned, women and girls are abducted, and terrorists operate with near impunity, that is not merely an internal disturbance, it is a direct assault on the freedoms our nation claims to defend, which our foreign assistance must reflect and uphold. This is not about punishing the Nigerian people. It is about demanding accountability for their government's complacency and ensuring that our foreign aid is leveraged to defend, reflect, and uphold American values. Even the underlying bill recognizes the Nigerian government's failure to meet the standard, yet it still allows for half of the funding to be released anyways. My amendment withholds all funds until they meet basic standards. Accountability can never be divided, nor should we allow anyone to exploit the generosity of the American taxpayer. I urge my colleagues to uphold accountability in our foreign aid spending and to vote for my amendment. I reserve. Speaker, I rise.
Take everything, because Nigerians are not even getting the aid in the first place. I mean, you know the aid business in Nigeria. Those who are the NGOs that takes the money, the executives and the rest of them they are living large, while the people that are supposed to actually spend the money are being given scraps or nothing, you know? So America should keep their money, because we know it is never helping the Nigerians that they said it's meant for. Yeah, if Nigerian government has shown that they can protect Nigerians, and America is aware that some of these unscrupulous men in government have compromised the lives of the welfare of their own people. So why are you rewarding them? There's no point in rewarding them. No. Well, anyway, here is what Peter Obi, who is also vying to probably replace these criminals with a credible leadership, according to him. But how can you get a credible leadership if your electoral system is crooked? So he was granting an interview to a media guy this past weekend, where he's assured, telling himself that he is going to win the 2027 elections. If the election is free and fair, he knows it's not going to be free and fair. Anyway, he is confident that Nigeria, the election is going to be between the Nigerian people and the APC. So he's confident, according to him. But here, Obi.
Mr. Obi, if you lose after exhausting all legal avenues, will you accept the outcome and encourage your supporters to do the same? And if you win, what safeguards will you provide to prevent politically motivated investigations against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other APC leaders?
Let me tell you, one, I will not lose.
Why?
Because the election is now between the people and the government. And I believe that people have suffered enough. And this election, so it's not me that will tell the people what to do. Because it's the people that will lose against the government. So whatever they will do, I don't know. Because I'm not controlling them. Even if they have to go to court, they will call the people suing the government. So this election is between the people and the government. I'm only being used as a tool to stand for the people. If I win, we'll follow the rule of law. One of the things I must bring back and ensure happens in Nigeria is the rule of law. We must have law and order. The system must work the way it should function properly. We're not going to, I will never persecute anybody politically. I will never do anything knowing the wrong in office because it will benefit me. I will not go after my opponents. I will make sure we have strong opposition, strong parties that can stand and say no. And in times of problem, I will invite them. If I was president, for example, and what is happening in the north today is happening, I will invite all opposition parties and we'll go and sit down with stakeholders in the north and discuss it and come to a solution to it. If I was president and what happened in Oyo State happened, and most places, I will go there within days and I will invite the opposition to come with me and say, listen, let's discuss this. Once the election is over, I will be serving everybody. And I want every idea. And since I don't have monopoly of knowledge, I will listen to others and I will learn from them and we'll do the right thing for the Nigerian people.
Okay. So to them, is very, very simplistic in his way of offering solutions, right, to that contraption. For example, it was like, I would, something like, I will support and make opposition stronger. Sorry, 1 sec. Yeah, something like that. I will make opposition stronger. I will work with everybody and blah, and all that. Okay, but he will win if there is a free and fair elections, according to him. But for Devolumai, it's got a different message. And especially for the people of the eastern part of Nigeria. Watch this. He's mentioning all the roads that they usually every year they are awarding them every year like that. So to those of you who kept writing no sound, that's annoying. You should check your own device. Yeah, check your device because it's pretty much very loud and clear here. So, and I don't think, and if you are not hearing any sound, even while I'm speaking right now, you should check your own sound or your device. You can come out of it and go back in. All right. So it works well. Or is that general? No, it can't be. Hear my voice. The device, you can come out of it and go back in. Or is that general? So it works well. Hear my voice. Or is that general? Sorry. That's me trying to kind of put it on, okay? So please stop posting. No sound, no sound, no sound. All right. Somebody should help me block, what do you call it? Pikitonex as well. Whatever you can't, if you can't hear me, right, you should please check your own device, please. It's quite loud, right? Stop typing, stop spamming the comment section, okay? Please. So here, from Jero in Jos, South local government area, for what happened there today, where gunmen, again, said to have opened fire and killed 2 women. And that's triggered a mini protest in that same local government area in Jos, so just south, it's called. Oh, hang on. Before we even get to that, okay. See, people have tried to distract me. Oh, we're still on Devolumai, okay. So the sycophant, even as we speak, has already named the uncompleted Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. Uncompleted, oh, 750 kilometers. They've not done 50 kilometers. And right now, the sycophants who said that the Igbos have been, they have been so rewarded. Tifnubu has been so gracious or so, like benevolent to the Igbos, that the Igbos are enjoying Tifnubu so much right now when it comes to development, the blah, the blah. The uncompleted Lagos Calabar Expressway, the Coastal Road, has now been named after Tifnubu.
And the fourth one, that is Akwanga to Meduga. If we start with the first one, and that's Lagos Calabar, 750 kilometers. We have section 1, which is from Pia to Leko village, 47.47 kilometers, 2 carriageway with a 5-meter train track at the middle. That project is a beauty to behold, and that highway is named President Bola Tinubu Coastal Highway. And that's what you have named the entire, coastal highway. By the power conferred on me as the Minister of Works, in consultation with my Permanent Secretary, Honorable Minister of Works, State, and the directors of the ministry, and indeed the union and all staff of the ministry. We decided to name that after him because of his dream for it. He had that dream about 27 years back as governor of Lagos State. And it's one thing to dream and another thing to have the grace of God for you to actualize your dream. This is one man that dreams and he has the grace and divine mandate to actualize his dream. And so the entire coast is called President Bola Tinubu Coastal Highway, Lagos Calabar. So, and the fourth one that is
nuisance Lele.
Now, did you hear that, right? Okay. So by the power conferred a name as the Minister of Works, then he started making the other shit up, right? As well as consultation with the Minister of State, my other permanent secretaries, they have decided to name the entire coastal road after Tifnumbu, uncompleted road. Though. They've not even done 20% of the road, though. Abi? 750 kilometers. If you do 47 out of 750 kilometers, that's not even up to 10% of the project. It's not even up to 7% of the project. Right? Then he quickly sneak in one lie. Tifnubu had the dream of Coastal Road when he was Lagos State Governor. Ha! Psycho fancy. Eh? You can give it to Devalues, the man that is currently being exposed of his involvement in the death of a lady that was supposed to be working for him. Oh, sorry, working with him. Whichever one that works well for you, right? So, psycho fancy. But let's leave that on the side. So, Umahi should have been arrested since yesterday. The best time that Devalues should have been arrested was yesterday. Another best time, again, was today.
So 5 engineers disappeared under his watch, and they have not been found. When they pressured him, he provided remains, bones of people they claim were these engineers. And when they did the DNA test, they found out that they were not the people who died. So what I'm glad happened with this particular man called Umahi is that his admittance that he's the most powerful person or powerful minister under Tinubu allowed his other victims to come out. And that is why we always warn people, you can commit crimes and get away with it at some point, yes, but you will never get away at all times. Now his crimes are catching up with him. Apart from the 5 Netherlands engineers that are missing under his watch, there's also a family that has been in jail since 2025 that he ordered to be sent to prison in Boeing. Don't forget that this same Umahi constructed one of the most expensive airports where even a drone doesn't land today, in a Boeing. So his crimes are catching up with him and he must answer for them. We are not asking that he should be fired alone. Umahi must be arrested and investigated, tried, and appropriately dealt with. So I'm sure more information will come out. You see, you can't just say that people disappeared because there's communal clash. But it's not the only place where there are communal clashes in Nigeria, where people disappear. We still find out what happened to them. So it has been established now that he has a hand in it, and there is prima facie case that he has information about their disappearance.
Will you be calling for his stepping aside from the office?
Well, he for also. So 5 engineers disappeared under his watch, and they have not been found. When they pressured him.
Well, you know, some says that the best CV you need to work for, Tifnubu is to have this level of criminality linked to you. A kind of a criminality that if anybody hears, right, they will be like, oh my God, Like you are in government. What happened to their DSS and those who have to do the background check on you? What happened to them? Like, how did you actually scale through all of that? Because that is the only criteria you need to work for call. Sadly. But here, in a community called, a town called Jero, under the Just South local government area, 2 women were said to have been shot by some gunmen. This time, threw the entire community into a bit of a rage that they ended up taking the corpses to their local government secretariat, where some of the staff of the local government themselves actually got like attacked. They were attacked by the angry mob in protest. That was today. However, 2 days ago or thereabout, from to the record of the Nigerian army, right? They had over 40 people. They were also kidnapped in an area called the Moguno local government area of Borno State. Yeah, terrorists took them. But yeah, they rescued them. Again, there is no arrested or killed terrorist, but just the rescued victims. For the record.
How are you? What can you say about today's incident?
Yes, I have nothing to say, but what was happening is the attack from the Boko Haram. We are all sleeping at the night. We didn't expect they have come. We just hear gun sounds everywhere. They keep shouting. Some of us are hiding under bed. Some of us are hiding inside our locals. So when they come, some of us are run. They have not escaped. We have nothing to say, but we should just thank you for your rescue and helping us.
Are the soldiers arrived on time or not?
They arrived on time. Okay.
Students, in fact, I'm very much pleased with the way the Nigerian Army intervened into this problem of ours at the center there, Federal Government Girls College Center, for the remedial program. In fact, what you have done is beyond expectation. We thank you very much for that. We thank you very much, and you can continuously keep on this. And I believe Moguno will be safe, since I have observed and seen that your effort is very interesting. Thank you very much for what you have done.
Gaskiya mun gode sosai da wannan sojojin da aka kawo mana agajin gaggawa, da a ce ba ku zo ba gaskiya da za a iya samun matsala sosai. Mun ji daɗin hakan sosai. Mun gode.
Gaskiya sojoji sun yi kokari sosai, domin ba dan da zuwan sojojin ba da yau mu za mu iya rasa rayukanmu sosai. Muna godiya sosai.
How are you? What can you say about today's incident?
Yes, I have nothing to say, but what was happening is the attack from the Boko Haram. We are all sleeping at the night. We didn't expect they have come. We just hear gun sounds everywhere. They keep shouting. Some of us are hiding under bed. Some of us are hiding inside our locals. So when they come, some of us are run. They have been escaped. We have nothing to say, but we should just thank you for your rescue and help.
Rescue. They are all like children too. When the terrorists went to their school and they took them. And yeah, they said they got rescued, and the whole show is to appreciate the military who put their own lives on the line to get them rescued. As for the terrorists, we will never know. Okay. So that reminds me of this guy, Alhaji Shekau, the madman that was the creation of this same APC. Egbekegbe.
You fail. I pledge to my country. We are telling in my Aqidah, I pledge to Allah, my worshipper. My worshipper. Nobody in the world. He has rule and regulation rather than Allah. You are worshiping constitution. We are worshiping samarati itatuwa mangulo ne wani kaza ne in ba rashin kunya ba wani abu wai apple pineapple juice wai apple pineapple juice wani carrot wannan karas yam to kai gina kai ne kai creating nas ka duba da shi kunya wai wannan ma wayewa ya sa cikin wani raba to made in you ne.
Alhaji Shekau is the guy that took the Chibok girls and he made a lot of spectacle of that, including when he was holding gun and saying Shekau, He was killed by his own factional terror group. So his terrorist kind of group, the Boko Haram, they became factionalized, and then the rivalry for leadership took place, and Alhaji Shekau was said to have bombed himself and killed himself because it was already like base. They were going to kill him. They've killed some of his own lieutenants and the rest of them, right? His generals. But they have now created hundreds, if not thousands, of Shekaus who now hold different territories, carrying out different operations from ransacking villages to robbery, and then a kidnapping for ransoms, and including illegal mining to raise money and fund their terrorism or terror activities in Nigeria. Alhaji Shekau. Anyway, let's put that aside. Like you do have the political Shekaus too. Those are the ones who use the stroke of pen to either jail activists and at the same time use the same stroke of pen to free terrorists. That's what we have in that contraption since APC Egbekegbe came to power. So let's leave that for a second. Politics, right? Rotifmi Amechi, no, hang on. Peter Obi eventually met with Isiko. Yeah, you know, I've not been around for the past 2 days, right? Yeah, they finally met after that is meltdown that got a lot of people calling him out, right? He said that Obi, despite all the money he spent supporting him and the rest, Peter Obi never called him for once. So they said, well, he visited him he paid him a condolence visit because his wife just died too.
Oh, she's from Australia. Yes.
Okay, every day president.
That's actually my
president
job.
will come your house. Our incoming president. So shall he be in Jesus' name. Amen. And for you others, where they are doing this, you don't see now. I'm the 100% obedient. So you better be obedient.
Let me tell you about this. Half of people when I do this, don't follow up.
Well, that was what very dark man told me.
What they do, when they hire people, they carry them, call them most of names.
We are together,
my people will tell
and we are winning.
My people will tell you, one thing I take, Mama, please, no, tell you, one thing I take is criticism. I can never be annoyed with anybody for saying I did something wrong. So anytime you have any reason to criticize, and when we are not doing what is wrong, what is right, please, I want to hear that I'm wrong always. Immediately, don't fail. It is important that we do that. A leader must listen, a leader must learn, and he must take mistakes. If he doesn't, he shouldn't lead. He should just go because he knows everything. And if you know everything, you're an idiot. You shouldn't be leading. Listener, a learner, always.
Thank you so much.
Everybody has been worried since yesterday.
About me?
You panicked us now.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of what I do.
As part of what he has to tell you. So that's a bit a visit. Okay. So in his own way of saying, oh, come on, you can say whatever you want to say. Don't listen to what people say online. And you don't have to take that to heart. Okay. But you can easily say whatever you want to say about me, though. I'm not gonna be bothered. So his own running mate, Kwakwansop, was in Kaduna for about 4 days. Yeah, they said they are galvanizing, moving their NDC in Kaduna. So to assure their supporters in Kaduna that himself and Peter Obi are doing all they have to do to get themselves ready for your campaign that I believe kicks off from next month, right? So he put a call through to Obi to speak to their supporters in Kaduna.
The obedience, and of course the OK movement, the NNPP, and the NDC. So everybody is listening to you. If you can just say hi to them. Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, they're getting ready. Since some of you are probably wondering, like, you've not heard from them in a while, right? Well, you've not heard from anybody because they are all doing what they can right now to see that Kolu and his own team did not kind of deny them the opportunity to be on the ballots. So far, so good, except if there's any court case or any court judgment that just comes randomly anytime from now, they are preparing themselves to confront Kolu. So is the ADC too. Rotifmi Amechi was in Abuja yesterday, where they had the Imo people living in Abuja or something, kind of like a meet, right? and he was a guest. Yeah.
Now, I will tell you why this man is calling me a comedian. They came to my house to invite me. By then, my mother had not died. So I promised them I would come, I would dress as an Igbo man, and I would spend time here and walk around and all that. And they said, one of the reasons for inviting me, they say I'm an Igbo man. I used to say that until the issue of the vice presidency of ADC came into play. And Igbo say I'm not an Igbo man. So I told them, I said, that is the quarrel between the Igbos and the Igbos. That when it is time to identify, we say we should be Igbos, right? To be Igbos. When it is time to talk, we say we are not Igbos. So since they have denied me because of vice presidency, anywhere I go now, I will say I'm not an Igbo man. Until they come to the public and say I'm an Igbo man, then I will agree. Until the Igbo say it that I'm an Igbo man, then I will agree. He wants to tell me that I'm married to an Igbo woman. Everybody knows that my wife is an Igbo woman. My wife is from Enugu. Yes. My son is married in Anambra. And you cannot speak Igbo without my understanding. So don't speak Igbo around me. I understand Igbo. And I speak a bit of Igbo. I speak Igbo. Now what? Let me say to you, please.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take India.
Okay. So yeah, that's Rotifumi Amechi. Now about to start playing his own Igbo card. You know, when it is convenient. He said it many times. He said that he's Ikwere, and because he's Ikwere, right? So he's not Igbo. Or when it is politically plausible, he can always say he's Igbo. Okay, and yeah, some people around him probably like they call them what do you call them now? Say now unity beggars in Igbo land. You know, those ones that would be like so happy when people who just want to use this tribal card to get whatever they want to get or appeal to some section of the same Easterners, right? They say, oh, you know, I'm Igbo, I'm married to Igbo. But guess what? In the long run, okay, they don't give a shit about the Igbos. But you see, when they identify that way, right, people are like, oh yeah, they are part of us, but they are never part of you. I mean, in their deed, even those ones that are real Igbos themselves, how much of them are actually for the Igbos? I mean, so that's Amechi, and their campaign will probably kick off anytime. So here is the guy accused of setting up a fake federal government agency, presidential promotion, something council. You know that PFIPC guy? Yeah, he said that Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council, PFIPC. It was lifted to Abuja last weekend from Oshogbo after his arrests. And is also facing the libel suit filed by Bajabia Mole that is currently charging or suing him for 15 billion naira for defamation, libel. Okay. And then he's going to be prosecuted for setting up a fake agency. Really? Fake agency that got the approval of, the approval of the head of the service of the Federation or something. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Accountant General's Office of the Federation, DSS Director General, whatever office of the Federation, as well as the EFCC, including the NSA, Nuhu Ribaduse office. All of these guys had a relationship with this supposed fake agency until they don't.
My boy is traveling okay, the other guy. I've been supposed to travel before
because him there been taken to Abuja to go and face his charges. And those who approved, including those who released the first tranche of the takeoff fund they gave to that agency, which is practically the cause of this whole disclosure, right? Sharing formula, as well as how the same fake agency managed to get its budget, its own budget proposal through the National Assembly, and it passed, So part of the joke, this is very much on those who believe this cock and bull thinking, right? But yeah, he's their fall guy. In Abia State, right? This guy is in a place called the Obehi Azumini in Abia State. They are using this commissioning of this dilapidated road to call the attention of their governor, Alex Oti.
People to join us as we commission this road to the glory of God and for the use of these our leaders. In the name of God the Father, amen. In the name of God the Son, amen. In the name of God the Holy Ghost. Amen. Congratulations. Congrats. Thank you very much. Thank you. You see, this is the thing we talk about. When you bring good to Turkey land, your life the good will come back to you. All the good our leaders have done to us. Let's go for refreshment. Let me get back to the Let's go for refreshment. Thank you very much. Thank you. People to join us.
That kind of a mock commissioning, right? Yeah, that's in Abia State. In the UK, we now have a new prime minister, the 7th prime minister in the last 10 years of the United Kingdom leadership. Crazy, right? Here is now our former prime minister, Keir Starmer, given his own, he resigned. So today, his resignation has been accepted or approved by the king. And at the same time, a new prime minister, Sandy, right, is now our prime minister. So I want to add that to this. That's for the record. It is the diary, right? Or Maiyegun's diary, Politico, since the days of David Cameron, right? To the time of Liz Truss or so, right? And even to the time of Steer Kama. So we believe that we're keeping record. Here is the passing of Starmer.
And good morning. I'm about to visit His Majesty the King to offer my resignation and close the book on my time as Prime Minister. My work is done. In 6.5 years, I took our party from a historic defeat in 2019, changed it so it was fit to face the country, and won a landslide general election victory in 2024. Since then, it has been the privilege of my life to serve you and this great country as Prime Minister. And I am confident that Britain is now stronger and fairer than it was 2 years ago. Our economy is stronger. Our public services are on the up, with the biggest fall in waiting times for 17 years. Children are being lifted out of poverty every single day. Immigration is down significantly. Our defence and security are on a far stronger footing, and our international reputation is greatly enhanced. Yet the thing I will always take away with me, the most humbling aspect of this job, is the front row seat you get to witness the greatest things of this country in action. To see every day immeasurable acts of resolve, grit, decency and compassion from people who serve our country, whether that's in their regimental colours, NHS scrubs, or simply the millions of people in their communities who volunteer their time and their effort to the ground beneath their feet. We face a world now where our enemies will stop at nothing to divide us because of our values, our freedom, our decency, and frankly, because of our unflinching resolve towards the brave people of Ukraine. And so under this attack, it is vital that we remember the greatness of the Britain all around us, that while we debate how to fix our problems, there is something we inherit from our country and our character that can give us confidence, that we can change our country for the better, that we can create a Britain where every child can go as far as their talent will take them, and we can unite different people under our common flag if we don't succumb to that division. So, as I now pass the baton to Andy Burnham, I wish him every success. He has my full support. And finally, I want to thank once again my family, Vic and our children, my team, all the staff here and across the Labour Party, everyone at Number 10 and across the civil service, and everyone who has supported our efforts along the way. For all the focus on individuals, politics will always be a team sport, and the changes we've delivered for our country and our party belong to everyone who has fought for them. I thank them again today, and I thank the British people for the opportunity to serve. I go with good grace, I go with a smile, and I go proud of everything that we have achieved. Thank you very much.
He won a landslide election, a general election, or his party won a landslide general election 2 years ago, until he became almost like the most unpopular prime minister in the United Kingdom. Yeah. But another jolly good fellow, put it that way, Andy Burnham has now taken over as the prime minister of the United Kingdom, even though there is going to probably be a pressure to ask him to conduct a general election. Go for a general election now. Go for a general election now. It is only in the UK, right, that your political party can have or win a landslide in an election, and you have a 5-year term. And somehow, if you mess it up, you can be out of that office within a year or two. It is only in this country. Some people are like, we don't understand that. No, you can't. In the UK, where we have the parliamentary system of government, it simply means that the political party with the majority seats in the parliament, right, in London, will form the government. In a situation whereby the leading political party in an election is unable to kind of get the sizable number of forming a government, then it's going to probably go into a partnership with another smaller party who probably have the number that they can add to their own and form a government. But in this case, Labour Party won a landslide in a general election that saw so many of them. But that has changed now. Now that we have this reform and all these other guys who are pushing their racist madness in this country, especially those ones who are targeting us, the immigrants, whether you are legal or, if you are illegal, or even whether you are legal, who currently in this country have no access to public fund. If you are living in the UK, right, as an immigrant whatsoever, right, you do not have any access to public fund, maybe until you become British or you're disabled. Apart from that, even if you lose your job, you can't access any public fund to support you, nothing. But yet, most of those who live off the same benefit in this country ended up having to put the whole mess or the whole blame on immigrants. They blame us when politicians messed up, despite the fact that when the politicians messed up and they wanted to get back into the good book, they also hired the immigrants. That's when they develop all these funny visa programs and the rest, right? But when the political situation changes, they will sacrifice those immigrants, legal or not. So here is Burnham, the new prime minister. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it started today.
I have just come from Buckingham Palace, where I have accepted His Majesty the King's invitation to form a government. In doing so, I am acutely conscious that I am the 6th person in the last 10 years to walk up this street, the 7th Prime Minister since 2016, making this a moment for reflection and new resolution. It requires my generation of politicians to raise our game and rise to the new challenge. Britain needs to show the world that we can regain our stability once again. And that is our challenge, to make politics work, to make it work better. I know people at home are fed up with politics. I hear you, and I want to be honest with you. We have not been good enough, and we need to be better. We will be. We will make this moment a circuit breaker for Britain, bringing forward the biggest changes in the last 40 years. A new political model and a new economic model. In the 1980s, Britain took some wrong turns. Political power was centralised, economic power privatised, large parts of the country deindustrialised, and they still haven't recovered. Many feel as though they're still in decline, and they don't have the ability to turn things around. And that's why we will change politics, to make it more collaborative, more about problem solving than point scoring. And we will take power out of here and carry it into every postcode in the land so that they can do more. And in doing more, build a new economy where we put life's essentials back under stronger public control to make them affordable to you again. Reindustrialising Britain, using public procurement to back British industry. Later this year, I will bring forward a new plan for Britain, a 10-year plan, laying out a path from where we are now to where I believe we all want Britain to be, wherever we're coming from, whatever party we support. But I can do so.
I think now statistic we go chop. A lie with arithmetic that no Indian can solve it.
Anyway, that's not for, I don't know what, that just came to my head, right? That's not for Andy, by the way, because, and you know, from the first day, in fact, even before now anyway, so on his first day as Prime Minister, he's already approved the oil exploration on the North Sea, which is believed to have been, somehow where the prosperity of the Great Britain is currently being locked. So North Sea is in Scotland, for your information. So, in Scotland, we have crude oil too. But somehow, they have been pushing for what they call the net zero, where UK is paying over 4 billion pounds sterling, right, for this same crude and whatever from other European countries, right? Why they left their own oil in the North Sea because of this climate, this and climate that, okay? So he's already lifted a lead on that. And so many other things he's currently saying that he's going to do. But that kind of reminds me of Starmer 2 years ago. Or more, seven prime ministers in 10 years. And people are already saying that this one too won't last. Okay, within a year or two now, as usual, there will be demand that no, there should be a year or two. Around that time, then they will just wait for him to do 3 years, the regular 5 years that Labour Party won. So in the UK, in the House of Commons, that's the Parliament, okay? In the House of Commons, you have 650 seats. So for a political party to form government, they must at least score 326. So if they score more than that, they'll form governments. If they score less than that, they have to look for another party that will now do a coalition and form governments. So it is the party that won. It is not the individual. So you as the head of the party, if they nominate or elect you as the head of your party, even though you are just an MP, head of their party, then you're automatically going to be the future prime minister. Like Kemi. Yeah, Kemi is going to be a prime minister. Maybe. If she remains the head of the Conservative Party in the UK. He may become a prime minister too. But yeah, that's UK politics. But again, you can track them once they begin to falter, once they begin to derail, even their own party members, because you don't want to lose. Their own party members will move for your removal. You need to go. You can't lead us to an election. If we go into an election with this your performance, we're going to lose. All of us are going to lose our seats. That's an interesting way, kind of like a politics, but that's not what they gave to us in Nigeria. They gave us the type of politics that they call democracy. The one that make people believe that they are participating or they are playing a role in electing their leaders. Meanwhile, these criminals that eventually emerge as their leaders see themselves as above their own people. They hold them nothing, and therefore they are not responsible for anything, unfortunately. So let me take this. Probably our first and only call this evening. Hello.
Hello, General. Good evening.
Good evening. The Prince Adewale Mebude, the African Wahala. How are you, Baba?
Yes, sir. I'm good.
Brilliant. So I saw you that you actually joined us from the get-go, and you are still here.
Yes.
How are you doing, Baba?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, Baba. I'll share some news with you privately, but
Grant.
So I'm currently not working. Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, but just about the show, I just wanted to speak about this UK changing their prime minister 7 times.
Yeah, and we can't even change
in 10 years.
One rogue in 4 years. It's crazy.
You know, same thing with France too. I think France has changed theirs like 6 times in 6 years or something like that. So all these European nations, they are going through a lot of turmoil. We can tell that they are going through a lot of pain.
Tell me about it.
and you know, it's crazy that these are the same people that roll out red carpets for our criminals. Our own criminal politicians. They would never allow such characters get to the helm of affairs in their country.
Never,
ever. But that's exactly what they want for us. And that's why they keep on rolling red carpets for them. So I'm happy that their countries are collapsing. I know I'm also going to be affected, but hey, what do I have to lose? Our own countries have already burned to the ground, so it's all good.
It's a fair game, is it?
Yeah, it's fair game, brother. And their politics is similar to Canadian politics in terms of the parliamentary system. The winner of the political party with the majority
seats
forms the government. You know, it would have been good if Nigeria had a similar system. Exactly.
Okay, sorry. I think they did. Let's be honest. They actually did. Remember that we had that scenario, right, where in the Southwest, as well as in the Southeast, they were all practicing parliamentary system of government, except in the North, which were practicing a different system of government put in place by the Sadaunos. The military abolished all of that. Then they set up this American system of presidential system of government. I don't think I can put all the blame on them.
Yeah.
No. Historically, they gave us parliamentary system. Remember?
Yeah, and that's what the Ghanaians are still practicing. The similar parliamentary system.
Really?
You know, it's just unfortunate that they made
practicing presidential now in Ghana. They have president campaigning now.
Oh yes, they don't have a prime minister, but they still practice.
I think somehow.
But you know, if you look at Uganda also practices a parliamentary system of government, and it's a mess. Oh yeah. They have the speaker of their parliament, Anita Obong or something like that. The lady
is also president too.
Museveni. Yes. So I don't know. It's like there is a mix between they have a president and they also follow the parliamentary system. I'm not sure what that is called now, but whatever it's called, it hasn't still worked in a lot of our African countries. But it is what it is. Finally, I'm just going to say that I believe strongly that the Alliance of Sahel, what they are doing in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, is directly contributing to the multiple changes in prime ministerial role in France. And it's a good thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's my contribution for the evening, my brother.
I said you're going to be our first and possibly the last call for the evening. So thanks for stopping by, Baba. Appreciate that. And we'll
yes, sir. After, yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care, man. So to everyone else, the line remained opened before now, and we have come to the close of this evening session. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. And remember, right, if you watched up to this moment and you haven't really liked or shared the broadcast, you should, so that you won't really miss anything the next time. Promise. So thanks so much, everyone, for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe as much as possible, and I will see you another time. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun dayari Politico. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Níjó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun mami.
ayé ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
òkúra olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun mami.
ayé ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
ayé ẹ̀sùn làkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o ayé.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ̀ bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì o. ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. Maiyegun ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn làkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.